What is biology? Biology is the study of life and living organisms, or we could say it is the study of the form and function of living things and their interrelationships with the environment. We define an organism as a complex structure made up of interdependent parts that may have individual properties but perform certain functions as a whole. Example, a car. Note all organisms can use energy. To distinguish between an organism and a living thing, we say all organisms can use energy, but living organisms must carry out the 7 characteristic processes. Example, respiration, nutrition, excretion, etc. The scope of biology refers to the branches of biology. Traditionally, there were 2 branches: botany, which is the study of plants, and zoology, the study of animals. Then there was a third subdivision called microbiology, which is the study of microscopic organisms that are neither plants nor animals. This subdivision could further be broken down into bacteriology and virology. Other specialized areas of biology include the following: biochemistry, the study of chemical processes within cells; molecular biology, the study of the structure and function of macromolecules. Example, proteins that are essential to life; genetics, the study of heredity and variation; parasitology, the study of parasites; and ecology, the study of organisms and their environment. We have histology, the study of the structure of tissues. Biologists work using the scientific method to solve problems. Some skills required are observing, measuring, formulating hypotheses, making predictions, designing investigations or experiments, recording data, interpreting results, reporting, and drawing conclusions. After the experiment, the biologist must report. In observing, we would use a real life example. You observe that cowpea growing in your backyard are generally smaller than those growing on your school farm. You also observe that the soil type looks different in the 2 places. You go ahead to measure using a ruler the length of the stems and leaves of the cowpea growing in both places. You find that the average length of stems on your school farm is greater than the average length of stems in your backyard. Therefore, you form or formulate a hypothesis that growth is slower in the cowpea in your backyard due to the absence or lack of nutrients in the soil. Based on this, you make a prediction that if fertilizers are added to the soil samples from your backyard, the cowpea will grow at the same rate as the cowpea in the school farm. You design an investigation or experiment as follows. You take soil samples from your backyard and the school farm and divide your samples into 3 groups A, B, and C. Next, buy cowpea seeds from your local agric shop and split them into 3 groups. Grow the seeds in the soil samples such that to the seeds in group A do not add any fertilizer to any of the 2 different samples. For group B, add fertilizer only to cowpea seeds grown in the soil sample from your backyard. For group C, add fertilizer to both cowpea seeds grown in both soil samples. Remember to supply the same amount of water to all cowpea seeds daily. You record the data in terms of the time taken for seeds to germinate for each group and for each soil sample. You also record the length of the shoot and length of leaves daily after germination. To interpret your results, if the cowpea in group C germinates first and grows fastest, while the cowpeas grown in a backyard soil sample in group A grows slowest, it means that the availability of soil nutrients increases the growth rate. If the cowpeas grown in the backyard soil sample in group B grows at the same rate as cowpeas grown in the school farm soil sample in group B, it confirms the hypothesis that growth rate of plants is slower in soils that lack nutrients. However, if the cowpea grown in the backyard soil sample in group B and C were still smaller than those grown in the soil samples from the school farm, the hypothesis is disproved. Then the growth rate may be due to other reasons, example soil texture or soil structure. A new hypothesis must be found. Based on the results obtained, the hypothesis is either confirmed or rejected. This is referred to as drawing conclusion. The experiment must be reported using the following steps. 1. The aim or title which states the problem. B or 2. The hypothesis. C. The materials used, which could include the drawing of the setup. The method, which describes the planning and the procedure. The results obtained from recording the data. In the discussion, you interpret and evaluate the data, sometimes using graphs. The conclusion is where you realize the aim by either proving or disproving the hypothesis. Biology has many important applications. We shall consider a few. They can be split into 4: domestic applications, medical applications, industrial applications, and agricultural applications. Domestic applications involve the production of local kenkey and banku from fermentation of corn dough, the baking of bread by the addition of yeast to flour dough, the production of local akpeteshi from fermentation and distillation of palm wine, the production of yogurt and cheese from fermented milk. We come to medical applications, which involves the production of antibiotics, example penicillin, the production of hormones like insulin, and the production of vaccines from weakened pathogens. Under industrial applications, we have the use of microorganisms for decomposition and destruction of waste, producing biogas. The production of alcoholic beverages, example beer from fermentation of wheat. The agricultural applications include the production of crops with high resistance to diseases, the production of crops with short maturity times, the production of animals that are hybrids with vigor and with better characteristics. Some careers associated with biology are medicine, dentistry, veterinary practice, nursing, lab technician, and radiologist.